Hello and welcome to this video. Now, we're going to talk about how you can earn divines, and I mean divines, early on, day 1, day 2, depending on how quick you get through the campaign. We'll talk about slow and steady, and then if you're on the opposite end of the scale, you're blasting through, getting 4 void stones by the end of day 1, maybe day 2. But we'll talk about all that. Just to keep in mind, just because I say divines doesn't mean raw divines. I mean the accumulation of wealth, which equals divines. Now we'll get into it and everything, and you'll understand. Now, you might be looking at the patch notes, looking at different builds. What can I do with my build? What can I do this, that, the other thing? Now, one, you can easily earn currency without even having one of the top builds, whatever it turns out to be. 2, this particular league, the tree with the keepers of the flame tree that you work on, and you can get drops and everything from. I recommend, depending on obviously your build, but do the normal breaches, not the bigger breaches. Once we get in game, we'll be able to tell the difference a lot easier, but obviously there is different types. But you want to earn the blood currency as much as possible going through the campaign, so you can then do the Genesis tree and then try to get 5 links. Ideally your 5 link, and then extra 5 links you can then sell. By the time you get through to Act 6, you'll have access to the AFK trading, so you can just shove it on there and people buy it. And then obviously the currency, uniques and all that. So you want to try to get as much blood currency as possible so you can build up this tree, and then work on either 2-handers with sockets, body armors with sockets, because early, day 1, day 2, maybe day 3, depending on how everything goes and how smooth the launch is. But day 1, day 2, that's when that stuff's going to be worth the most. Obviously it depends on the particular skills people are using, but more than likely int based, wand based skill gear will be worth the most, because that's probably going to be towards the meta with some of the stuff that they're adding. But obviously just keep in mind you might have to check certain things. We'll get into some of the stuff you can use, but the Genesis tree, get as much blood currency as possible, put it in the tree, and try to get some early 5 links. Then try to get some currency. I wouldn't recommend going the uniques, because the uniques probably aren't going to drop like giga currency worth uniques, especially early on. So work on the 5 links and then work on currency. And you can do that solo, self-found, trade, doesn't matter. You can work on that and earn currency. Now, we'll get into more of the sort of ways you can do other stuff. And you can see up here, I have the mercenary skill gem they added, which they're adding to heist. Now, even though they made heist more casual friendly, there'll be a huge part of the game player base that won't want to do heist. That means all these gems that we got off the mercenaries will be worth more than they were last league, especially early, because obviously people will want to get through, get the character, get in the maps, get towards the 2 void stones before they go and do something like heist. Most of the player base will want to earn the currency just to buy these gems off you. So that's where that little niche where you can actually earn currency. And because Forbidden Rite of Sacrifice didn't get touched, unless obviously between me talking now and League launch, they some reason changed their mind and changed that. But Bladefall of the Tarathan will probably be fairly wanted, and because the Forbidden Rite of Sacrifice didn't really become the meta until week 3, week 4, that will probably be brought back towards the week 2, week 3, because everyone knows that it's good and it didn't get nerfed. So pretty much any gems that aren't base gems will be worth more than they were last league, because we have to do heists to get them, not just go chat to a mercenary. So the gem side areas, now I will say, do not pass the campaign if you're doing heist. Run to Act 10 just before you get to Kitava. The second time, go run heist and run as much as possible. Use your currency that you've picked up to buy more contracts from the guy. If you have early currency and everything, then once you start seeing the heist stuff in your campaign, go over to heist, go to the guy, buy the low level contracts, because the level of contract does not matter with this. It's just gem side areas. Now, why we do this before maps and before completing the campaign: one, we don't get the extra minus 60%, 30% minus to our resistance, plus it will not have any other league mechanic with the, you can get some essences sometimes, but it will have gold, it will have the gem side areas. It will not add the other league mechanic stuff until you finish the campaign and you enter maps where everything is now open to you. So if you do heist, one, go do the click on the gold thing, go to the portal, buy all the contracts you can with the currency that you don't need to actually be able to complete the campaign, and then run all the contracts you have with the, and then buy some more if you got currency drops in the heist runs, obviously. But run all of them, try to see this area, even if it's going to make the alarms go and shut down your heist, and you can't go to the end so you get a few extra coins. Get this side gem area every time you see it, every time it spawns, no matter what. Obviously get currency and all that as well, but this is going to be one way, I believe, that you can earn some very good early currency without much effort, because the lower level contracts will be 48, 50, all the way up to the like 68. So if you go and buy it as much as possible, you could end up with a huge amount of contracts that you're virtually going up against Act 5, Act 6 monsters. So that's one way. Another way is through transfigured skill gems. Now, you get this through lab. You can run lab 1. There is no benefit running any other lab up until Uber Lab, where you get 2 chances, and then later on you get more chances at the font. But once you get the access to the first one, there is no reason to run anything above that to try to get these transfigured gems. It's not weighted either way, unless there's some secret coding behind that no one has either released or talked about. I have not found any, because I ran a lot last league, and I didn't find any difference between running the different tiers, and I found a lot of the gems that were going for decent value in the first one, because the reason why it doesn't matter, these gems, their value is based on the player base, not GGG. So we'll go through. Another resource you can look at is the builds. There's hour 3, 6, 12, 18. So by the time you finish campaign, or get to just before finishing campaign, if you want to run this and the heist, you can come here and see what's going at the moment. But I'll give you an example. Obviously, this is not going to be set in stone. It is whatever will be these gems that people are buying at the time. So these are the ones that were being played the most. So keep that in mind. Frostblink of Wintry Blast, always good. You can hang on to it for a few days so more people have access to putting it in their build, and it'll go up. But this is one, if you find it, take it. Now, as you saw, Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, one of the early builds. It quite early went up, and you were easily getting 40. If you want to hold on to it, obviously you can, but very early on, you'll quickly get up there. And this is not, this is the price you were getting. This is the average price it was going based on their data. Some of these gems, this website was going for X. I sold it for way more. So you just gotta do it at the value it's selling, and sometimes you can make a divine when it says you can only earn 50C. Another one, this was quite steady. It was one of the more popular builds day one. As you can see, it all depends on how early people can get access to things, how many people are playing it. Now, these were common for day one all the way up to week one, with a few different things like Righteous Fire. But as you can see, depending on when you do it, depends on everything. After week 4, when pretty much all that meta sort of change comes in, because people have currency, people are buying stuff, that's when we start getting into the sort of stuff no one's really playing, and then boom, it's worth a bunch. So I'm adding these just to show you something like Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice. It was nut. It started going up, and then it peaked when everyone was playing, everyone was trying to get in at around 200C, and then stayed steady. But this is after week 4. So even the gems that aren't worth much, if you know, like Smite's going to be like this again, maybe even earlier. Forbidden Rite of Soul Sacrifice is more than likely going to be like this again, maybe even earlier. And then whatever people are playing, it's going to jump up, and this says 6.3 on average. You're probably getting 10, 20, 30, 40. And with the asynchronetic trading, you could probably get a bit more, because people don't want to deal with people. People want the gem. So add an extra 5, 10 chaos, and you'll probably be surprised how many people actually buy that stuff for the extra price of not dealing with people. They just go in, buy your stuff, go out. So yeah, that's a little example of the type of gem sort of variants and all that. And the heist works in solo self-found. You can go get your Truthard the mercenary gems for yourself. If you're playing trade, you can go in, get the gems, get currency, get levels, get whatever, without having to deal with anything else because you're going to do low content. And then on top of that, you can do the graph stuff and the Genesis tree. So hopefully that was helpful and gives you a completely off meta of what people are going to be doing, because you make the most money by doing what people don't necessarily want to do, but they require the items that come from that content. So Genesis tree, first 2 days it's going to be worth it to get items and sell. After that, there'll be a flood of everything on the market, so this will actually go down in worthwhile for selling purposes. Heist, people don't want to run heist because they don't like it. They'll still buy the gem. So you running it, the less amount of people that want to do it is way better for you. The running lab, people don't want to do that early, especially day one. They don't want to be running lab over and over again. Guess what? That is profit. That means you are one of the few people that are earning the currency. You get to set the prices. You get to decide how much goes on the market. Say you got 5 of the same transfigured gem from lab. Don't put them all on the market at the same price. Put 1 or 2 up. Test the market at a certain value. Maybe put 1 a little higher. Put 1 like a chaos cheaper, and then you set the price, and people are buying it, and then people have to set the price around you as well, and any of the low bids will just get brought and they'll disappear. Don't worry about them. Set it at the proper value of what's going, and if nothing's going at the point, set your own value. Use like the resources and stuff, but set your own value, and if people want it, people will buy it. Even if it's for a way higher price than what you think you could get for, people are going to buy it if you're the only one running lab to go get those gems for them. But hopefully it was a different sort of mindset that you can go into, earn some early currency. And the blasters run Elder and Shaper. The Dying Sun more than likely will be worth quite a bit of money. The 2-stat Watcher's Eye, everyone wants a 2-stat Watcher's Eye early on. Then you're going to have to transform into the Uber Elder and get 3-stat Watcher's Eyes. Unless you get a good 2-stat where the 2 stats are like you're selling it for 20, 30 divines or even more. So the blasters, you're looking at getting your Elder and your Shaper fights and farming them, and you'll get the most currency as a blaster by getting the Dying Sun, the Elder Orbs, the Shaper Orbs, influence gear, especially shields with the Shaper Influencer, with the health gain on block, and the 2-stat Watcher's Eyes, and the Flesh and Flames and all that you can get from Eater and Exarch. So that's what your goal is if you're a blaster and you want to do stuff in maps. You're doing Eater Exarch, Flesh Flames, you're doing Shaper Watcher's Eye, and you're getting the Orbs for Shaper Elder and the Dying Sun. The Dying Sun will probably still go for 16 to 20 div. And if you are really uber blasting, go for the new Pinnacle bosses and get the stuff they drop, or even just the fragments, because the fragments for at least 2 of them should go for good money. But hopefully that helped you. See you in the next video, and goodbye.